All right, so lying down in any comfortable position. So it's the end of 2020, and somebody said to me, "Oh, next week is already 2021." And I said, "Yeah, we can't blame things on 2020 anymore." All right, so closing this chapter of this year, but maybe also finding gratitude for some of the opportunities that it has given us. So, as you are settling into the earth here, taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere in your body. And with every exhale, softening, releasing tension. So I invite you here to think about something that has happened to you over this last year that you are grateful for. Maybe it's a person you met, some sort of change that was for the better, an event that happened. And notice the sensations you feel in your body as you feel gratitude. Where does this feeling of gratitude originate from in your body? Perhaps you feel it in your chest, in your heart space, or maybe you feel it elsewhere. If maybe it was hard to think of something you were grateful for this year, maybe think of someone or a family pet that you are grateful for and invite in those feelings of gratitude. Can you allow this feeling of gratitude to slowly start to expand through your body? Perhaps with every exhale, watching it slowly move through your body, moving all the way down to the tips of your toes and all the way up to the crown of your head. Notice how it feels in your entire body to be full of gratitude. During our practice today, I invite you to stay connected to that sensation of gratitude. If you happen to lose it, perhaps coming back to that event or person that inspired the feeling. And whenever you're ready, making some small movements in your fingers and toes. Rolling around wrists and ankles. Maybe stretching here if that feels good for you. And then whenever you're ready, hugging both knees in towards your chest. Maybe you make circles with your knees. Okay, so let's start here by coming into a reclined pigeon pose, allowing the both feet to come down towards the earth, feet are hip distance apart. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh, activating the right foot. And then whenever you're ready, slowly drawing the legs in closer towards your chest. Keep that right foot active. And then perhaps you grab a hold of that left leg somewhere. So it might feel kind of different here since we haven't really done much moving. But see if you can just kind of breathe into it and be kind and compassionate with yourself. Be gentle. Ahimsa, no harm. Finding one more round of breath here on this side. And then gently releasing the left foot to the earth. And we'll just uncross the legs and come over to the other side. Activating the left foot, drawing the legs in closer. Notice if you're holding tension somewhere in your body. And relax and soften here. Let's find one more round of breath. And then gently releasing both feet down towards the earth. All right, let's come into a happy baby pose. So both feet come up towards the sky, activating your feet, and knees come out towards the sides, grabbing a hold of either the backs of the thighs, maybe somewhere on the lower leg, maybe somewhere on the feet, and do whatever feels good for you in your happy baby. Let's find a half happy baby. So keeping a hold of the right foot or right leg, left foot comes to the earth, maybe the knee is bent, or perhaps the left leg is out long. Softening your shoulders, find your breath. Finding one more round of breath on this side, and then returning to your full happy baby and finding half happy baby on the other side. Whichever variation feels good on this side. And gently releasing your left foot to the earth. Let's roll over to one side, any side that's calling for you, and then gently making your way up to seated. Okay, so any comfortable seated position here for you. And let's find some seated cat-cow today. So rounding the spine, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. And then moving in the opposite direction, shoulders roll back and down your spine. Moving with your own breath, See where it's more comfortable to inhale and where it's more comfortable to exhale. Let's go one more time in each direction. And then coming back to seated, shoulders roll back and down your spine. So let's do something a little different today. Hands are going to come to your shoulders, and we're going to find some circles here in the arms and the elbows. So drawing circles in one direction, and then perhaps drawing circles in the opposite direction. Okay, let's release the hands down towards the earth. Okay, so surrender pose or fire log. So we'll start with surrender pose today, and maybe fire log later. So in our surrender pose, we're in easy seated pose, crisscross applesauce to begin. Bringing your hands out in front. On your inhale, finding length in your spine, and on your exhale, folding forward. See if you can do so with a flat back. Perhaps reconnecting to gratitude. That feeling in your body. Find one more round of breath here. And then walking your arms over towards the right side. So you're going to go over the right knee, arms reach across, maybe the left hand reaches a little bit further, and then melting down here. Slowly allowing your hands to come back to center. Walking yourself back up to seated, and then changing the cross of your legs. Okay. Before we find that on the other side, let's find some twists here. So moving twist, shoulders roll back and down your spine, palms face up towards the sky. Inhale to reach up, shoulders roll back and down. Exhale, turning to one side, arms come down by your sides. Inhale to lengthen, coming back to center, and exhaling over to the other side. Just moving back and forth here with your own breath. One more time in each direction. And then coming back to center and placing your hands out in front once again. In your own time, on your inhale, lengthen, and on your exhale, folding forward with a flat back. So listening to your body and only going as far as you feel comfortable, and keeping both hips on the earth. So I'll bring in our other cards here. Self-care. You should not neglect your own needs. You can only give to others what you have. Replenish your cup and attend to yourself. So is there anything that you can do in these last couple days of the year to replenish and to be ready for the new year? When you're ready, walking your hands over towards the left side. Slowly coming back to center, and then slowly walking your hands back up. All right. So we're going to come into a leg cradle here. So we'll keep our legs, we'll cross our legs, however you feel comfortable crossing your legs, but we're going to start with the right foot. So activating your right foot, grabbing a hold of the left foot or the right foot with the left hand, oh my goodness, and then bringing the right arm around. So perhaps you just kind of rock your leg here. If it's in your body, maybe you bring the foot up a little higher so it comes into the crevice of your elbow here. Keep the right foot active. Sitting up nice and tall. Right foot stays active, gently placing it to the earth, and we're going to come over to the other side. Activating the left foot, finding that leg cradle. Maybe you rock. Whichever option feels the best for you in your body today. Okay, and gently releasing this foot down towards the earth. Shaking out your legs. All right. So a little bit different today. Ready? What are we doing? Okay, let's come down onto the earth and we're going to find some rocking motion. And just kind of feeling the sensation here in your back. Have a little bit of fun with it. All right, ready? Here's what we're going to do. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. You're going to see if you can rock all the way up and come onto your feet without touching the floor like I just did. If you can't do it, doesn't matter. Come to the front of your mat. Come into a forward fold. As much of a bend in your knees as you need so there's no discomfort in your low back, backs of your thighs. Okay, whenever you're ready, step or hop both feet back into a plank pose. And then coming into downward dog. Let's find a little bit of flow here. Right foot reaches up towards the sky. Shifting your weight forward, let's bring the knee towards the nose. Come back into your three-legged dog. This time shift your weight forward, stepping the right foot through. Back knee can come down or stay up. Squeeze your inner thighs to rise. Right hip rolls back, left hip rolls forward. And let's find a twist. Arms come out towards the sides and turning towards the right side. Inhale, allowing your arms to come up to center. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step back into your plank pose. Breathe. And back into downward dog. Other side, left foot reaches up towards the sky. Shifting your weight forward, left knee comes towards your left nose and hold. Can you find gratitude here? Back into three-legged dog. Shifting your weight forward, stepping the left foot through. Back knee can come down or stay up. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. Finding that twist here, arms come out to the side, turning towards the left side. Roll the left hip back. Yoga teacher falls today. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Here, we're going to change this. So right foot comes parallel to the back of the mat. And then you're going to slowly start to walk your hands along towards the long edge of your mat, turning your left foot. So it's parallel to the edge of the mat, short edge of the mat. Finding a wide-legged forward fold. Coming down as far as you feel comfortable. And And if it's in your body, maybe clasping your hands behind your low back, shoulders roll back and down your spine, allowing your arms to reach up towards the sky. Find your breath. Releasing your hands. Let's come up halfway. So either hands to the earth or hands on your hips. It's okay if hands don't come to the earth. We all have different arm lengths. And then exhale, fold once again. All right, we're going to find a bit of a side squat here. So bending into the front knee, maybe you turn the toes out towards the right side. Maybe your squat is up high, perhaps you're down low. Foot can stay on the earth, left foot, or maybe toes point up towards the sky. And then whenever you're ready, let's shift over towards the other side. Notice the difference from side to side. Let's do that one more time, shifting over towards the right side. Whew. And then over towards the left. Ready? We're going to spin back around into a high lunge. So we're going to walk our hands over towards the front of the mat, turning the left foot forward, come up on the right toes. And then let's step back. Plank pose. Shifting your weight back, downward dog. All right, right foot reaches up towards the sky. Shifting your weight forward, stepping the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Maybe you help it through. Okay, we're going to come into a squat. Can you shift your left foot towards the outside of the left hand? Turn the toes out. So maybe your squat is up high. Maybe you're down low. Perhaps you grab some blocks to place underneath you to support you. Hands come to heart center. Finding a nice straight spine here. Tailbone points down towards the earth. All right. So last week we found a twist or a bind. Yeah, we'll do the same thing. So right hand comes down to the earth. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. If it's in your body, maybe you find a bind by reaching the right arm back behind you, palm faces out. Left hand finds the right hand. Releasing here, we'll find that twist on the other side. Left hand to the earth, maybe a block if you need. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Perhaps you stay here, or maybe you find that bind on the other side. I'm going to skip it on this side. Right hand comes down to the earth. Ready? We're going to sit down right from here. All right, so moving towards the middle of your mat. And let's come into a boat pose. So both feet are on the earth, about hip distance apart. Shoulders roll back and down your spine as you place your hands on the earth behind you to support you. And then come as far as you feel comfortable. So perhaps just one foot comes up, maybe both. Squeezing the inner thighs towards center. Maybe both arms come forward. Shoulders roll back and down your spine. So you find your version that works best for you. And if you want, you can come along and play and boat a little bit. So exhale, straightening your legs, lowering so that just your shoulders are hovering off the earth. Inhale, come back to your high boat. And exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale to high boat and hold. Exhale, let's come down onto the back, hug the knees in. Perhaps you rock from side to side. Okay, remember that movement we did earlier to come up into a forward fold? Let's find that again. So rocking a few times here to get your momentum. Honestly, I'm afraid I'm gonna hit my fireplace because that would be me. Okay, whenever you're ready, come on up. Nope. Forward fold. All right, on your next inhale, arms come out to the side. Reverse swan dive up, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. Standing figure four. So with our figure four, if it's not comfortable to come in and into it, I invite you to come into tree instead. So tree, foot is on above the ankle, below the knee, or above the knee. Okay, we're going to come into our standing figure four. So let's find mountain pose, shoulders roll back and down your spine. Shifting your weight into your left foot. Picking up the right knee, activating the right foot. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. This should look familiar. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring arms up towards the sky, shoulders roll back and down. Exhale, sitting your hips back like you're sitting into a chair. Wonder if you hear my dog. All right, so you can stay here if you want, if this feels like a good stretch, or maybe you play with it a little bit. Hands come down towards the earth. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you come all the way down into a toe stand. Maybe you stay here, maybe you bring your hands to heart center. Finding 2 more rounds of breath. All right, and then let's make our way back into a forward fold. On your next inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's find that on the other side. So shifting your weight into your right foot. Left foot comes up off the earth. Maybe you find tree pose, or maybe it's figure four, keeping the left foot active. Go as far as you feel comfortable. So maybe you're just standing tall. Maybe you find that seat. Maybe hands come down towards the earth. Or perhaps you find a toe stand on this side. Keeping the left foot active. And then let's all come into forward fold. Stepping back into your plank pose. Shifting your weight forward, dropping your knees to the earth, tuck your elbows in, chest and chin come down towards the earth. Let's find a baby cobra, shoulders roll back and down the spine, tucking the elbows in by your sides, lift your heart. Pushing the tops of your feet down towards the earth. And exhale, lower. Okay, we're going to come into Sphinx Pose, forearms to the earth, elbows are underneath your shoulders, shoulders roll back and down your spine. Energetically pulling your arms towards you to send your heart through between your shoulders. Tops of your feet push down towards the earth. Exhale to release. From here, bending your knees and windshield wipering your feet from side to side. This is just to release any possible tension that you feel along your back body. And releasing your feet down towards the earth. So I invite you to find either baby cobra, Sphinx Pose, or full cobra. Full cobra, hands are by your chest. Shoulders roll back and down your spine. Still tuck the elbows in. Tops of the feet push down. Exhale to lower. Bending your knees and windshield wipering your feet from side to side. Okay, we're going to find a bow. So let's start half bow. We'll do half bow on each side. And then it's up to you if you want, you can come into a full bow. So in our half bow, we're going to start by bringing our arms to the earth like we did in Sphinx Pose. Okay, and then you're going to take the left arm and turn it in so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. Okay. Bending your right knee. You're going to push your body away from the earth like you did in Sphinx Pose. And then reaching the right foot back, or right hand back towards the right foot. Activate the right foot. Squaring your shoulders towards the front of the mat. Maybe you just hold the stretch here. You don't need to go anywhere with it. Maybe you kick your foot up towards the sky if you want. It's interesting, I actually find half bow harder than full. Gently release. If you need to take a break, if you feel discomfort in your low back, coming down, bending your knees, windshield wipering your feet. And then in your own time, you're going to make your way back into your Sphinx arms. And find the half bow on the other side. Right arm turns in. Pushing away from the earth, roll the shoulders back and down, squaring the shoulders towards the front of the mat, bending the left knee, activate the foot. Grab the foot somewhere. Maybe you just reach for it. If you can't grab it, it's okay. Still get a stretch by bending the knee and activating the foot. Perhaps you kick your foot up towards the sky. If it feels uncomfortable in the low back, keeping the knee on the earth. Gently releasing this side. Come on down, windshield wiper the knees or the feet. All right, I've been saying some really interesting things the last couple days. Yesterday in my second class, I wanted to say a blanket or a block, and I said I'll block it. So, new thing. I'm going to patent that idea. All right, full bow if you wish. Maybe you find crocodile for a rest instead. Crocodile, feet are out wide, toes point out, hands come underneath your forehead. If you're ready for full bow, we're going to bend both knees, activate both feet. Bringing the hands to the outside of the ankles. Shoulders roll back and down. So we don't want to strain the neck by looking up, looking out a few inches in front. Perhaps you stay here, or perhaps you push your feet up towards the sky. Some people like a rocking motion. Finding whatever feels good for you here. Find your breath, find gratitude. One more round of breath. And then releasing here. Last time, windshield wipering the feet from side to side. All right, let's make our way into a tabletop pose. Find any movements in your tabletop that feels good for you. Maybe it's C shape, figure eight. In and out of child's pose, cat cow. And then whenever you are ready, coming into seated. So wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to bring the legs out wide and then find your sits bones, that comfortable place to sit. So if you have a blanket, you can always use the blanket a couple of different ways. One of which is to come on out, sit on the edge of the blanket, and it kind of helps to tip you forward a little bit so that your back stays nice and straight rather than rounding and putting strain on the low back. So there's that idea, or you can take one or two blocks or a long folded blanket, place them underneath the knees so the knees don't lock out. Or maybe you go without, whatever you wish. So activating both feet, inhale to lengthen the spine, pushing your heels down to the earth, and exhale to fold. Finding a few rounds of breath. Coexist. You do not need to win or harm anyone to be as you are. Appreciate diversity as part of nature and the human experience. Slowly making your way back up. All right, bringing the legs towards center. Maybe you shake them out. Okay, if you're sitting on a blanket, removing the blanket. All right, so we're going to come into a fire log pose, or you can come back to our surrender pose, which was crisscross applesauce, and then coming forward. Okay, so you know your body the best. I'll give you instructions for fire log. So we already came into so many things to kind of help us get into this, the leg cradle and whatnot. So we'll start with activating the right foot, placing the right foot on top of the left knee. And we want to stack our legs so that they're kind of parallel to the edge of the mat, whichever edge. Okay, find length in your spine here and find your sits bones. Keep the right foot active. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold forward. Align with your wholeness. You are not your habits, illness, or symptoms. You, the person, are always whole and perfect. All right, so taking 2 more rounds of breath here. And then slowly walking your hands back up walking your hands up to help you come back up to seated. You know what I mean. Okay, activating the right foot to release it. Maybe you shake out the right leg or both legs. And then we'll come over to fire log or surrender pose on the other side. Right foot comes in. Activating the left foot, stacking here. So left foot on right knee. Bringing the legs parallel. Know that if it's hard to bring that top knee down, you can always grab something if you have it nearby to place underneath the knee. Again, inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold forward. Our last card for today, pass it on. Help someone else when they are in need. Sometimes helping others is the quickest way to help yourself. Keeping your feet active and slowly bringing yourself back up. Uncrossing the legs. Maybe you shake out the legs. Let's come down to the earth and find a twist. So coming onto your back. All right. Arms are going to come out towards the sides, palms face up towards the sky. Let's find a twist where we cross the right knee over the left. I know if this doesn't feel good for you, you can come out and come into a different twist. Then allowing your legs to drop over towards the right side. You can always stack knees instead if you wish. Maybe drop your legs to the left side instead. Perhaps you look over towards the left side. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. Softening your shoulders, your jaw, and your forehead. Taking deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Finding one more round of breath. And allowing your legs to come back to center. Uncross the legs. Repositioning your back flat on the earth. Left knee crosses over right. And dropping your knees to the left, looking over towards the right. Once this side feels complete for you, allowing your knees to come back to center, uncrossing your legs, repositioning your back flat on the earth. Let's bring the feet mat distance apart, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay, one last hug here with the knees, hugging them in, Maybe you find some movement, giving the low back a massage. And then coming into Shavasana or any final resting pose that feels good for you on the earth. Softening your jaw. Softening the place around your eyes. And with every exhale, maybe you are able to sink and settle into the earth just a little bit more. And returning once again to gratitude. Is there something that happened this year that you can find gratitude for? Feeling what it's like to feel that in your body. Notice where the feeling of gratitude originates from. With every exhale, watch the gratitude slowly spread throughout your body. And rest in that feeling of gratitude. This last year has been a challenge for all of us in one way or another. However, it may have also brought us some opportunities that maybe wouldn't have been there otherwise. Even just the opportunity to be here and to share this online space together is amazing. Finding some small movements here in your fingers and toes. Maybe those small movements become bigger movements. In your own time, rolling over to one side, any side that's calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated, and once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Finding gratitude for being here today, for carving out this time to take care of your body, your mind, and your heart. And I am so very grateful for all of you for joining me the last few months, for joining me today, and hopefully I will see you again in the new year. Have a beautiful evening.